guys, and welcome back to So That's Gaming. I'm Laramus, and today we are going to do some work on our Wii U. We're going to work on getting the homebrew launcher installed on our home menu. We're going to install Haxchi and iOS hacks so that basically everything that you could possibly want to do will be ready to go in future videos. So this is going to go from stock to Haxchi in this one video. Hopefully the whole process doesn't take too long. But first we gotta do a little bit of housekeeping. We're gonna need a few things. First thing you're gonna need is a genuinely purchased DS game installed onto the system NAND. Make sure that it's installed on your system by unplugging like USB hard drives, maybe even your SD card if you have one installed, just to make sure that your game gets installed onto the system. As you can see here, there you are. I went and installed BrainAge because it was the cheapest one. It was $6.99. Now this has to be genuinely purchased. You can't use one of these exploits to sideload it because, well, when you start your console and you start your exploit, that game isn't available because it's an exploited installed game. So the only way you'll be able to have access to it is if it's genuinely purchased. I will link to a list of compatible games in the description, so don't worry about that. So first thing we're going to do, let's see here. I am currently on system version 5.52, which I'll show here in just a moment. Go to our settings right quick. Now keep in mind, the DS game that you buy, you will be sacrificing. It is done. It is gone forever. So here, I'm going to show you like this. Here's my gamepad, 5.5.2U, because I'm in the US. The game will be sacrificed. You won't be able to play it anymore. I'm not sure if you can sideload it. I don't know. So if any of the games in the list below are ones that you might be interested in, be sure you don't choose one of those games for this process. So after you have your DS game, next thing we have to do is we have to block future Nintendo updates. So go to internet here, connect to the internet. Let's see here. Choose your default connection. So as long as we're right here, let's go and show you this right here. We're going to go and scroll all the way down. This is where your internet settings are. We're going to scroll down. And first thing we gotta do is we're gonna go ahead and disable the automatic software downloads, just to prevent any other updates from sneaking onto our system. And go to connections and go to X. How many do I got on here? Holy crap! Let's see. All right. Sorry about that. I guess I had more than one connection here. So we're gonna go. Select your default, whatever is your default, and we're going to go ahead and change the settings. Go to the next page. We have to change our DNS settings. We're going to set that to do not auto obtain, and then we have to set these. We're going to set these, and I'll show you what we're going to set them to. So this is what you're going to set your DNS settings to. Hopefully you'll be able to see that okay. I'll have this information linked in below, so just in case you can't read it for whatever reason, primary set to 168.235.092.108, and your secondary to 081.004.127.020. So we're going to confirm. There, that part is done. So now we don't have to worry about getting any of those sneaky Nintendo updates. We're going to save our settings. So now we've already disabled the automatic downloads. Our next step, we have to go to our power settings. Let's see, where are we at here? Go back to here. And let me see. We'll find our power settings here. Where are we at? There we are, power settings. Disable the standby functions in the quick start menu. By disabling the standby functions, it will automatically disable the quick start menu. So you'll make sure those are disabled. That way, during any of these processes, your device doesn't shut down and cause an error with any of these exploits that we are going to do. Now that we're done with that, Next thing that we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and launch the Wii U, or the Wii U. We're going to launch the homebrew launcher. To do that, now I went ahead and already bookmarked this. There we go. Look at my happy family there. Alright. We're going to go ahead and launch the browser right here. Start. Now I already have a shortcut. I think I can show you on the TV here. Let me see. Okay. We have to go up here to settings. And on the gamepad, we have reset save data. Reset. And that'll wipe all the cookies and everything else you have going on to prevent any errors with the exploit from running. Okay, that may have wiped out my bookmarks too, actually. Go ahead and relaunch your browser. It's going to close it after you reset everything. Yep. Okay. Alright. How are you? X, so you can see that. Alright, yeah, so it went ahead and deleted the bookmark. So we're going to go up to the URL. And we're going to go to load. That's not an L. Load. IINE.OVH. Alright, see it right there. Go ahead and OK. It will load this. We are on current 552, so that's already selected. We're just going to select, let's see. Remember this choice, activate permanent automation. Okay, I'm not going to mess with that. We're just going to hit click upset. Let me see. This attempt may take a while to load. Okay. Now this, yeah, it may crash or cause errors several times. And if it gets stuck and it stops doing anything, you might have to power off your console by pressing and holding the power button to shut it down, then retry launching the exploit. If it doesn't work, there's another website we can try. Now on your gamepad, it looks like my little me guy may have stopped doing something. It looks like it may have crashed. So I'm gonna have to go ahead and restart the console. It appears that it locked up. Alright. Long press the power button. Cause the system to shut down. I'm going to go ahead and power on the system again. Alright, I'm going to relaunch the browser. Hit X to open those bad boys. Another one you can try is u.drg.li. So we're going to try that one. Alright, now from what I've read, your success is much higher if you start out by trying number 2. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Get your stylus out so you can like precision tap here. We're going to try Delta 2. Our little Wii guy is rocking back and forth here. And it's attempting to run the exploit. What should happen, he should like get bored. You'll see 3 Zs and it'll continue to load. If it locks up, it's more likely crashed. So there's the Zs. Alright. It looks like it crashed again. Now, keeping in mind, don't get discouraged. This process could fail many times before you finally get to launch. So it's one of the reasons why we want to go straight to Haxchi as soon as possible, because the browser exploit is far less stable on 5.5.2. I gotta force shut it off again. Alright, now that after several, possibly numerous attempts in getting the exploit to run the browser, you will eventually be greeted with the homebrew launcher. Now, I have included in the description a link to my SD card. All the files that you see here in this menu are included on my SD card, and I have included them all in one easy to extract RAR. I think I either use RAR or zip file. Use your favorite extractor to extract it directly to the root of your card. So, whew. Now your SD card will need to be formatted FAT32. I've included a utility link to a utility in the description as well to format your SD card to FAT32. I used a location size of 64K. You might want to try something different. I've heard that 64 has the best luck, but personal preference, I suppose. I guess I don't really know. And that's my understanding that the Wii U will support an SD card as large as 256 gigabytes. Those of you who are familiar with file systems on the PC know that a 200 and anything larger than 32 gigs can't natively be formatted to FAT32. That's where the utility in the description comes into play. Now, okay, yeah, so the first thing we're going to go ahead and load, we're going to load the custom firmware booter. Just going to select that and load. There we go. And when it works on your gamepad, you should see it IOSU hacks splash screen. Or so I've been told. Come on. It's making a liar out of me. There we go. IOSU hacks. It injected a patched version of the firmware into the system, and you should be greeted with the IOSU hacks. So now we have that loaded up. We need to install the homebrew launcher so that we don't have to go through the web exploit every single time, because that can get irritating. So we're going to launch our browser again. To launch, this next step is going to make things a lot easier. We're going to launch the WUP GX2 installer, and we're going to install the homebrew launcher directly to the home menu. Alright, so after you run IOSU hacks or the custom firmware booter, and then you rerun the web exploit, hopefully successfully, you'll load this and we'll install the homebrew channel right here. Click the homebrew launcher channel, install, and yes, we want to install, and you'll install it to the NAND. After that's done, we now have the homebrew channel on our home page, and we won't have to use the browser exploit any longer. Exiting WUPX install will bring you back here for the time being. So the next thing we want to do, this is where our officially purchased custom firmware, our officially purchased Nintendo DS game comes into play. We're going to install Haxchi. And what this will do, it will write to that file, and you can just launch that DS game and it'll automatically install CIOSU hacks. Now I already have the system installed on the DS file, so the only thing we have to do is run the Haxchi installer. We're going to load that, and here we are. It's going to show you this right here. Choose the game. This is our official purchase. If you've ever used an exploit to install other games, do not select them. This has to be installed on the system NAND. It's very important. So we're going to go and select our brain age by hitting A. Okay. You have selected the following game. This will install Haxchi. To remove it, you have to delete and reinstall the game. If you are sure, press A. So we're going to hit A. Boom. Done installing Haxchi. Oh, there we go. I was wondering if it was going to exit. Okay. So, now Haxchi is installed. We're just about home free. Alright, power off our system here. I'm just going to long press it to force it to shut off. And I'm going to go ahead and restart it. Now the next time, normally when you restart your Wii console after doing all this, you'll have to go through the web exploit, all that stuff all over again, which if you are running this, you know how tiresome and irritating that be, because it could crash. You gotta start over, crash, start it, run the custom firmware, loader, booter, whatever, and then after that you have to run the exploit again to get access to the rest of your homebrew. But we installed Haxchi onto our DS Virtual Console game. Now, I believe once this gets done, it may say homebrew launcher, but I don't believe it will work. There, error has occurred. This is what will happen without running Haxchi first. So we're going to get rid of that. How do I close that? Please turn off the Wii console and try again. So, alright. So, obviously it didn't work. That's because we didn't run Haxchi first. So we're going to go and restart the console again. Thank you guys for sticking around for so long. Powering back on our Wii console, but before we launch the homebrew launcher, we have to run Haxchi. Alright, now this time that we powered on our system, we're going to run Haxchi first. Now there's a couple different options. Just running Haxchi, as you see right here, just running it by itself will automatically load the custom firmware, the IOSU hacks automatically, then this will work afterwards. Pressing and holding A and launching that will take you directly to the homebrew launcher if you didn't have this installed. So let's go ahead and run Haxchi by itself. It should go ahead and launch the IOSU hacks. There it says Haxchi on the device. The next thing it's going to do is should load up the IOSU hacks. There it is, IOSU hacks. Now it's patched the system NAND so that you're able to run homebrew. So now that we got Haxchi installed, and we're off to the races at this point. So all your exploits, your homebrew, and everything else should launch now that we ran the Haxchi. And so now we can select the homebrew channel, and we shouldn't have any problems launching it. It should boot right into the homebrew launcher. That high-pitched buzzing is kind of annoying. So there it is. Now, I'm not going to do cold boot Haxchi in this video. We'll cover that in another video. If you're anxious, you can try to find someone else's tutorial about cold boot Haxchi. This is where brick possibilities increase, because this also installs onto your DS Virtual Console game that you bought that needs to be installed on the system NAND. Even though I'm not covering it, I'm going to cover this a little bit. If you install cold boot Haxchi, you cannot install it to USB or you will brick. You cannot install it to SD or you will brick. You cannot delete the Virtual Console game, the DS game that you use for Haxchi, or you will brick. You cannot move the file to USB or you will brick. You can't do anything to it or you will brick. Basically, you install this, I would move it way at the other end of your menu on your home screen to prevent you from messing with it. Because if you ever delete it, you're screwed. There's nothing you can do as far as I know. I think there's some hardware patchers that you can use, but I don't know anything about those. That requires you to open the console, wire to certain chips or something. It gets really, really complicated. So we'll take a look at some of this other stuff later. Yeah. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, be sure to give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you enjoyed it, and if you found this tutorial easy enough to follow, let me know in the comment section below. I would greatly appreciate it. Like, comment, share, all that jazz, and if you haven't already done so, be sure to click subscribe. Get subscribed. Keep coming back here for more gaming videos, and we will see you in a future Wii U, PS3, PS Vita video in the future. Thanks again for watching. Peace.